Hey guys, so you can see the top that we're looking at. It has an extended sleeves, extended neckline, and also a slash and spread on one side of the shoulder. So that's what we're going to be looking at today, how it was achieved. So today we're going to be looking at how we achieved this um, extended neckline, extended sleeves, and slash and spread on one shoulder. So let's start. So for a start, we will be putting down, as in putting down her normal dimensions. Okay, so her shoulder is 17. So we'll just mark. Remember that we are extending the sleeve. Okay. So we're going to extend the sleeves by, okay, her shoulder is 17, so we mark, right? The round neck is a 3-inch round neck. We mark that one too. Now remember that we are extending it by 1 inch, so we mark a 1.5 inch. Okay. So I'm cutting the back first. Okay. So mark. So this is how we're marking it. So now remember that the shoulder usually has like a 3/4 to 1 inch slant. So that's also another thing to put into consideration. So we mark the neckline like so. Okay, so you can see how I marked it, taking note of the slant. Then from there, I now extend my sleeve. So let's continue. Armhole distance is 9. Armhole distance of 9. Our bust is 44. Bust line 12.5. Bust is 44. Then her waist, her half length is 18.5. Okay, so her bust is 44 and is a free wear. So we'll be adding, her bust is 44, so 44 is 11. Okay, then we'll be adding 1.5 inch allowance. Her waist is 38. At this point, that's 9.5. We'll be adding 2 inches allowance. It's a free wear, right? So we take it this way. Then her hip is 52. That's 13. So we'll be adding 1.5 inch allowance too. Okay, so go this way. So I'm squaring up the arm, and remember that we extended this shoulder by 5 inches. No, it's not much, it's not so much. Okay, so we extended it by the shoulder slant, the sleeve, we're extending it by 4 inches. There's not much, but I'm adding half because the we'll still turn the armhole area. Okay, so it goes like this. So whatever we are doing, remember that you also be taking into consideration her armhole. So I just took a measurement now. After the shoulder, I took a measurement to check her armhole, and I'm seeing that here is still giving me 21 and her armhole is 23. So I'll take it down by another half inch. So do we understand? So we slanted after the shoulder slant, you extended by 4.5 inch because we're still going to turn in half inch. Okay, then you get your armhole curve, right? You can do it with either your pattern master, or you can use your hands to do your armhole curve. Okay, so now we continue. The back is a full back. It's a full back, so I usually use 3/4 inch for the back. So this is how it to be. All right. Okay. Remember to still bring out a half inch, because when you need this extra half inch at this point, this is your neckline. This 3 inches is your neckline. You now bring out an extra half inch, because you would, when you are picking the shoulder, you would turn the neckline by half inch then before you now join the shoulder together. So this is how the back looks like. Now remember that the back of this particular dress is an open back. So I would cut it, then we'll not get to the front, and I'll show you how we're doing it. Now, so we'll be cutting the front. Okay, so remember our shoulder is 17. Remember this time. Neckline extended by, I want a 1 inch extension, so I'm extending by half inch because we'll turn it, okay, with the facing. Okay, so the three. So that neckline is a 3 by 3 neckline. So now we will not be taking the depth from the, we'll be taking the depth from the extended shoulder point. We'll not be taking it from this point, right? So this is the neckline. Then remember your half inch extension. Okay. Then slant, and remember your shoulder slant too. So you now blend. Okay, so we're extending our shoulder by 4.5. Okay, then our armhole. Remember, her shoulder is 17, so at this point we'll be keeping a 1/2 inch distance because of for turning. Okay, so now her taking her normal measurements, right? Bust 44, 1.5 inch allowance, waist 38, 2 inches allowance, then hip 52, 1.5 inch allowance. Okay, combine. Now, of course, you know why I'm using the paper, because of I want to, at this point, I want to get, why I'm drawing the front with a paper, right, is that I want to get the pattern, the slash and spread pattern on one side of the shoulder in front. Okay, so do your curve. If you cannot do it with your hand, you just do it with the pattern master. All right. So now this is the basic pattern. So now we want to do the slash and spread. We had like about 3 pleats on one part of the shoulder. So we want to um, get the dimensions now. Okay, so now we start from, we're going to just get it. Well, of course, we will not put it on the extended neck area, and we will not put it after the shoulder. Okay, so we'll just be doing 4 pleats on the shoulder, on that one part of the shoulder, and I'll just be marking it the 1 inch difference, 1 inch and distance. So this 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you draw your slash line. So draw your slash lines. At this point, since you are not, it's not as if you are, it doesn't have to slash to the end point. Okay, so now we'll cut. So at this point you cut your slash lines open. So I'm going to spread now. Slash points. In the picture, the pleats are not so. The pleats are not more. As in the pleats actually they're not so obvious. They even look like gathers. So I'm just going to be leaving about 1 inch space between them. Okay, so for this point, you saw that before I could get the slash points, after slashing straight, I had to also slash. I had to also bend the slash unless it won't bend. I had to also slash the other way so that it can bend a bit. Okay, so okay, so now notice this point that I put in like this. When I'm cutting, as I'm cutting this armhole now, I'm going to add it. I'm going to add this. I think it's a 2 inch. Okay, so I'm going to make it the same as I'm cutting now. I'll make sure that I make it the same with the length here. Make the length here, but for balancing purposes, I have to close it up. Please pause that video. Okay, guys, so this is how it looks like. All right. This is how it looks like. Now, we want to draw the pattern on the fabric. If you look at this point, if you look at this side of the top, you will notice that this face is 20.5, right? So now, because we took in some hair for balance sake, this side is now shorter. So this side is 19, or let's say 18 3/4. So whatever the excess that will make up for this side, we'll add it to the bottom. Okay, so our our cutting will now be slanted towards the bottom, like so. So we're adding 1.5 to the bottom. Okay. Don't worry, by the time we are done with the top, it will now make sense. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. It's going to be slanted towards one side to make up for the disparities, the difference on this other side. Okay, so we continue. So now let's measure. Let's take our measurement now and see whether it's up to 20.5 from the excess that we added. All right, so go. So this is 20.5 now. You can see that. All right, so we continue. Now remember that your pattern will be on fold. Remember that your pattern will be on fold because one side is not the two sides of the shoulder that have the slash and spread. It's one side of the shoulder. So if it's the two sides of the shoulder, then you can now cut only one half of the pattern. But once it's one side, your pattern has to be cut on fold. All right, that's why I joined this other pattern. So this side is normal and the other side is pleated. So now at this slash point, you'll be at this slash point, you'll be making a triangular shape at the slash at each spread point. Sorry, at the spread point, you'll be making a triangular shape like so. This makes you know the exact point that you're going to put your pleats, right? So this is it. You can see that I made a triangular shape at the spread point, at each spread point. Okay. So we'll take off our paper. And cut. So this is how the pattern looks like, right? So this is how the pattern looks like. Okay, so now we're going to cut. Then after cutting, we would sew our top and we would show you the outcome. Thank you. So this is the outcome of the top. You can see the extended neckline, you can see the extended sleeves, and you can see the slash and spread on the shoulder. So would you be trying this out? Let us know. Thank you.